port fuel injected vehicle, this engine has smart coils. And what I mean by smart coils, they are quickly identified by having either 3 or 4 primary wires. A dumb coil will have a power supply and then the primary control. A smart coil, you can tap into any 4 of those wires and you will not get a primary ignition waveform like we did on pin 4 of the earlier Ford, the ignition diagnostic monitor, where the primary goes through that 18,000 ohm resistor. Here, we're going to have a 12 volt supply, we're going to have a ground to the coil, and we're going to have what's called an IC, ignition control circuit, from the computer. The computer tells the switching transistor in the coil when to turn on, and that's when we have coil saturation and dwell time. And when it tells it to turn off, the primary collapses into the secondary, steps up the voltage needed to fire the combustion. So what we're going to do here is we're going to tap into the IC signal from the PCM to number 4 coil. Let's go ahead and start the engine. We want to take a look at the top of the square wave. Let's drop it down farther in time. Just trying to get it time-based to look at a nice even square wave across the top. The leading part of the square is the transistor turn on. The edge of the square is the transistor turn off. As the square gets wider, that increases the dwell time or the coil saturation time. This is the way you would check any coil unplugged that has 3 or 4 wires. Some GM products have 4 wires. It's a backup redundant signal that tells the computer that all was well in the ignition system. But you'll have power, battery voltage, power, ignition switch voltage, you'll have ground, and you'll have the changing signal.